y'all, I know I done put out 10,000 videos. I got these my last two, I think. Yeah, this is my last two and I'm done. All the Queen's Men, y'all, season 5 episode 3. Pop out and show them, okay? Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the videos so I can stand the algorithm, okay? All right, let's go. All the Queen's Men. So hold on. All right, y'all. So the episode started with Madam and Blue. They testing out a bulletproof vest on Tommy. And at this point, y'all, Tommy just being so dramatic. Like they about to take him out. Okay. Madam starts to drift off from the night once again to the night that she was pow-powed. Okay. These are things that Blue and Tommy has put in place to protect herself just in case they're not around. So they're trying to stay around her at all times. But now what I'm seeing is Madam is like literally getting annoyed at every turn between this episode and the next episode. She's always been voicey, but it feels like she's more lashing out now. She's really mad because ain't nobody found the person who tried to take her out. Like that's what she really wants. And I think it's annoying her to no end. Anyway, so Blue got her a bunch of blickies, and Tommy was like, "Yeah, that's all good, but I got, I'm gonna give you the Goldie 8,000." Okay, he got her 2 blickies. It was gold, so it's called Goldie 8,000. That's what I called it. And so it was when she picked it up. She was like, when she looked at it, she was like, "Why are you giving me that? This is like my old." I think she said it was like an old 45. And so when she shot it, it was, so she was like, "Yeah, I like this." So that is what she had. So back at Madam's house, Tommy is giving her a massage, about to give her a pedicure, packs a wax paraffin, and all of the things. And as she's trying to relax, here come Tony and Carla's trifling ass. And Madam pretty much know they be trying to play in her face. And then Tony starts to first. Carla was like, "Oh my God, we were so worried about you." And Madam was basically like, "Girl, you full of shit because you're trying to speak in a certain tone. So like, girl, get out my face." And then to top it off, Tony's grimy ass started to ask Madam about her. "I hope you have your affairs in order." First of all, you already know this lady have her affairs in order. What you want to know is if your name or if Carla's name on any of her affairs. I wouldn't leave you two hoes a nickel. But that's just me. They wanted to know if she had her affairs in order and if she had a will. And at this point, Madam was just sick of them and just was throwing them out in that nasty ass casserole, because I was Madam and I was Tommy and I was like, "Y'all gotta go. Get out." So now we see Doc and Fuego. And Fuego created this prototype for men and women where it's a sexual game. It's a sexual virtual game. You can't feel the lady doing her business, but you can see her doing her business. So he's not finished with it. He's trying to get like a Bluetooth situation connected to a woman's toy so the woman can feel more stimulation. So I'm not surprised somebody didn't make nothing like that already. And so Doc is actually getting a whole bunch of random calls, and Fuego was like, "What's up? Like, what's happening? What is this?" And he was like, "I'm just getting random calls from random people. I don't know what's going on." And so he was like, "You all right?" Doc was like, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just..." So Doc kind of ignored it, and he was like, "It's all good." So everybody let it go. So back at the club, Dime, there's amateurs trying to try out for amateur night, but Dime is drifting from that day her and Big D did the nasty on that same stage. And I'm like, girl, I really believe Dime is suffering with some kind of weird personality disorder, but whatever. She tells Blue that she didn't go through with the, sending the baby to the baby chop shop heaven and whatnot. Sorry to be so crass, but she didn't go through with it. And Blue was like, girl, what are you waiting on? You only have a window of time. She lets her know that Amp found out, and she was like, well, you still have a window of time, so you need to make a decision. It's not Amp's decision, basically. This is your decision. I just don't feel like Amp and Dime needs to be having a baby, but that's my personal opinion. I don't know. So Tandy's goofy, nasty ass put herself in more of a dangerous situation by confiding in Concierge. I feel like you a dummy for doing this. You tell him that I think I may have been the one to do something to Madam. You're not even for sure. He asked you to bring the gun to him. And so now, instead of you having to pay money, people like Madam and people like Concierge, they're rich. They don't need money. They thrive off of the barter. As he said, the barter system. They thrive off of favors. And so you're the mayor. So you're going to be compromised a lot of times by these two people. A lot. Anyway, Amp is at the gym, him and Fuego, and he have a conversation about Dime not being ready to have a kid. So I feel like Fuego gave him some great advice. Fuego was like, listen, you need to look at it from Dime's perspective, and she may have doubts, but it takes time. You just have to be patient with Dime, and she has to be the one to make the ultimate decision. And I wasn't mad at Fuego's advice. So Concierge shows up at Madam's house with a dog with a diamond around the collar, and I was like, I don't trust Concierge. And we're seeing a lot of Christian Keys, and it's with all the fighting and all of the things he was doing, and apparently him outside of the show, not getting along with the cast. I wonder if this is the reason he came back on the show. I don't know, but it's kind of odd seeing him after everything he's been doing online. I mean, I'm not mad at it because he had to get his show back, but anywho, and of course, back to so he comes in with the dog, with the diamond around the collar, and the dog was trained in French. So anything you tell the dog, it has to be told in French. And I was like, oh, that's really neat. But y'all know Tommy doesn't like dogs, and Concierge is not to be trusted. They both pulled out the blicky, like, hey, why are you here? How did he walk in the house? Did Tommy just unlock the door? And I was just like, okay, like I don't understand, but fine. So Midnight gets a knock on the door. He goes to the door with nothing in his hand after he got gutted the last time by Crazy Renee, and it's a package from Crazy Renee. He opened it up. It's a photo album with pictures of him. I guess she was stalking him in different places and taking pictures of him, and she put it in a photo album. I was like, this lady is nuts. Okay. Anyway, Fuego gets notification off the website. He's playing chess on the website, and he gets a notification from the CCTV website saying that that black sedan, and about Gerald Booker, the guy who Tommy unalived, is missing, and that was the one who was driving a sedan. So of course Fuego is like, what did they just do? I was like, Lord. Fuego, do not take this into your own hands. Mind your business. Tell them what happened and go from there. Anyway, raggedy ass Tony found out that Amp and Dime are expecting a child, and Amp said something. I think I was falling asleep at that point. Yeah. Oh, he told her, I'm sorry, I didn't write it, but I remember now. He told her, you're excited about being a grandmother, but, and I'm about to paraphrase this part, but you've been a shitty ass, raggedy ass, dusty ass, musty ass mama. Okay, I just wanted to make sure y'all know how much of an ain't shit mama Tony is. Anyway, Naima wants to put Doc behind bars, but of course, Detective Davis don't want to get her arrested. It's a lot of meat. That's a lot of meat to be hanging around to have behind bars with all of them men. It's a lot of meat. Okay, can't do it. So of course, Detective Davis tell her, "Hey, listen." It was like, she was telling her you was doing too much. Just let it go, leave it alone, and all of the things. But Naima won't. She know that she feels like, and he drugged her. So anyway, Blue visits Madam. And Madam tells her, she has some blueprints out on her table and that somebody is already in that property. So she's going to buy property and run a marijuana farm. And so Blue was like, well, after what happened at your last groundbreaking, I didn't think you were going to, snatch up any property. She was like, no, I'm just going to get a marijuana farm and Smoke would actually run it. It keeps him from gutting people like a fish. And so she said the only thing I just have to do is convince the owner that the property to sell the property over to me. And so Blue was like, if you can't do anything else, you can convince anybody to sell something to you. So we'll see how she have to gut him in order to get this land, because anything about when it comes to Madam, it's absolutely not going to be in the nicest way. So we'll see. Anyway, Fuego meets with Concierge. Why? I don't know. I absolutely don't know. And he tells him that his car, that he saw Concierge's car on the camera at Eden the night Madam was shot. I was like, why would you? I'm sure we will be planning a funeral for Fuego, and that's all. Like, that's all I got. I don't know. I get what Fuego was trying to do, and I know why he did not tell Madam, nor did he tell the rest of them, because they were going to immediately go after Concierge. And so he was like, I don't want any smoke. I don't want any bloodshed. I don't want any of that. I don't want to be responsible for any of that. So I get it, but at the same time, Fuego, I don't know. So after Fuego leaves, Concierge make a phone call and say, we have to take care of another loose end. Is your loose end Fuego? I don't know. So Blue head over to Maddie B's and she asks Carla for the footage the night Madam was shot. Well, of course, Carla said that the cameras reset every 24 hours, and I don't remember a man coming in here to buy a key lime pie I call Cap. I feel like you remember everything as it pertains to Madam and what you had planned for Madam with your raggedy ass. So Blue goes out to speak with the valet guy, and she lets him know she never even looked at the box. She saw it. Blue is very aware. She's always aware. She's looking when you don't think she's looking. And she lets him know, okay, so if the valet is so secure, it looks like it's easy for someone to come in and just snatch up a key if you're supposed to be securing valet. Meanwhile, Carla is standing in the back watching this conversation go on. Again, this gives me Carla has her name all over this, but I also feel like she didn't do this alone. I just really want to find out who tried to out Madam. So Tandy goes to her safe. Her gun is missing. Of course, she knows that Quincy took the gun from out of the safe. So Quincy goes to Big D and tell him about his plan to get reward money by ousting Tandy. And of course, listen, Big D, yeah, I can't with him. But Big D tell him, listen, you better off getting money, being a gigolo rather than trying to extort her. Tony gets a visit from some strange white man. I don't know who she owed money to. Y'all know Tony is grimy and greasy, and yeah. And so I guess she was betting on Madam dying and getting some type of money from her. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the greasy shit I'm talking about. I think you were betting on this lady to die so you could get money from her, get money off of her debt so you can pay off your debt. Like, that made you gotta be a grimy asshole for that. And this lady is very, very grimy. So Madam pulls up to the club, and she pull up girls in a parking space, in the little handicap, I guess. I mean, in a certain parking space, and she told the girl move the car. Well, the girl didn't know that was Madam. She was like, I'm not moving my car. Make me. She was just being an asshole. Make me move my car. What you gonna do, girl? So the fact that you didn't know that was Madam says a lot. And she got out, cut him. She was like, oh, well, I don't need the space. You gonna need it. Handicap hoe. So, yeah. So, anyway, we found out Fuego was running late. And the minute Eden do they thing on the stage. All right? He's visited by a man who was looking for the other two men that I want to say he beat up or maybe unalived last season, that came to his house or something. But I really thought, I don't know, but he was looking for those men. And Fuego was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what men you're talking about. I really don't remember. I really got to go back and check what happened with those men. So the guy took the bat and beat Fuego in the legs. That is Fuego's money, and that is Madam's money. And I was like, my God, on today. Now I'm going to say this: the men of Eden on stage was so much of a disappointment based on what they have always given every season. I did not like this. You know, and it was so hip-hoppy that it wasn't what they usually give. And so for me, I was like, it was okay. It was okay. They didn't take me to my happy place. If you watch my old reviews, I have a face that is always my happy place. Anyway, Crazy Renee breaks into after the guys get off the stage and perform, we look in a corner to see Crazy Renee standing there. I was like, this lady, she gotta go. That is all I have for this episode. Y'all let me know what you think. Let me know what y'all think below. This was a lot. Anyway, this is your girl, Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye.